Gaetz is going to be the new attorney general because Donald Trump, the winner of the election and new president, is going to appoint him there.
I hope you guys have a fantastic day.
You may recall Matt Gaetz as the guy who was like having relations with minors. So you can see that the Trump administration is already off to a wonderful, awesome time. The title of this ABC News article from today is "Woman Testified to House Ethics Committee that Gaetz had sex with her when she was 17. Sources.
Breaking news here today in President-elect Donald Trump's nomination of Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. ABC News is now learning exclusively that the woman who accused Gaetz of having sex with her when she was just 17 years old shared her claims in closed-door testimony before the House Ethics Committee.
And so people are very interested in this report, obviously, because he's now being told he can be an Attorney General. By the way, this happened all like yesterday. Trump appointed Matt Gaetz to his new Attorney General spot, and he's not even president yet, right? So Matt immediately resigned as a member of the House so that the House Ethics Committee had to stop their probe on him. And now people just want to see the damn thing, which 100% should happen. We should see it no matter what. He was a member of the House. The Ethics Committee probed. No matter, he's gone. Doesn't mean the fucking probe is. Idiocy. The woman who is at the center of a years-long Justice Department investigation into sex trafficking allegations surrounding Gaetz. I want to say Gaetz really bad, but it's Gaetz. Testified to the House Ethics Committee. Yeah, she's 17. President-elect Donald Trump announced Wednesday that he'd been tapped as new Attorney General, overseeing the very branch of government that previously conducted its own investigation of him, which ended last year without charges being brought. Literally putting him in charge of the place that was investigating him for his conduct. Classic fucking Donald Trump shit, man. Like, if you're a MAGA person, I need you to really, truly come to grips with this and how bad your decision-making is. Like, you personally, if you are a Trump supporter, and I don't think there's many on this stream, you are responsible for the way that the bad government works. This is bad. You shouldn't want a guy who's fucking children to be in government. Not to mention Donald Trump, who was best friends with fucking Epstein, dude. Gaetz resigned from office following Trump's announcement. This came as the House Ethics Committee was in the final stages of its investigation, said sources, who added the committee was preparing to meet this week to deliberate over whether to release the final report on the matter, and now they have to. Over the summer, the House Ethics Committee subpoenaed a woman at the center of the probe who is now in her 20s. She sat for multiple days of testimony where she testified to the committee that Gaetz had sex with her when she was a minor in high school. These allegations are invented. Gaetz is responding, I see. These allegations are invented and would constitute false testimony to Congress. This false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. The Justice Department spent years probing the allegations against Gaetz, including allegations of obstruction of justice, before informing Gaetz last year that it would not bring charges. Gaetz had long denied any wrongdoing related to the Justice Department probe. He's being investigated for alleged sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, and reiterating his denial of allegations. So we have people from all over Washington being mad about this. This is Susan fucking Collins, okay, Republican.
I was shocked that he has been nominated. If the nomination proceeds, I'm sure that there will be an extensive background.
Well, creepy isn't illegal.
Creepy is not illegal, but it is being investigated.
Checked by the FBI and public hearings and a lot of questions asked.
Wow, it's crazy that when you get like old and geriatric like Suzanne Collins, Republican slimeball, it takes you 21 seconds to say one sentence. That's insane. Took her so long. Anyway, Fox News contributor Ben Dominic weighs in on Matt Gaetz and commits a brutal murder. This is just Republican. I realize that we are occasionally given to hyperbole about the untoward nature of politicians, but let me be clear. Matt Gaetz is a sex-trafficking, drug-addicted piece of shit. He is abhorrent. His eyes are permanently rimmed with the red rings of chemical boosters. In person, he smells like overexposed Axe body spray and stale Astroglide. Stale Astroglide. My goodness. The fact that he boasted on the floor to multiple colleagues in the House of Representatives of his methods of crushing Viagra and high-test Red Bull to maintain his erection through his orgiastic evenings is perhaps the least offensive of his many crimes against womanhood and the Christian faith. Look, I don't mind if you snort Viagra and have Red Bull orgies, which is strange. The man has fewer principles than your average fentanyl-addicted hobo. So you can see this is a real dyed-in-the-wool Republican. The man has less principles than your average fentanyl-addicted hobo. He doesn't know less or fewer, and also he thinks fentanyl-addicted hobos are problems. He likes them underage, and he's not ashamed about it. Matt Gaetz isn't just your average extreme Florida MAGA man. He's a hypocritical ass with the worst Botox money can buy. Dude, he's sipping tea the whole time he's typing this, pursuing an ever thinner nose and higher cheekbones at every opportunity like a real housewife god mad for fillers. Every Republican in Washington has an opinion about Matt Gaetz, and 99% of those opinions are, quote, keep Matt Gaetz away from my wife, daughter, friend, or anyone I care about. So, I'm wondering if that's going to go well. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, slime bag, has been begging Donald Trump to stop nominating people in Congress so that they don't lose their majority. Donald Trump is so fucking stupid. I'm worried about the fascists. I don't think that this is a very good situation to be in. I'm not saying good stuff is going to come out of this, but they're already inept, which was part of the fucking problem last time. Millions of people died from COVID because Donald Trump and his buddies couldn't figure out basic shit. Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't just let a pandemic rip through the country, but then they did. They didn't take a single fucking precaution until it was too late. It's crazy. What Tucker Carlson said a few years ago on the subject.
Matt Gaetz interview, that was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago.
This is the one where he says
and
17.
On the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which, as you saw, he did. I don't think that clarified much, but it certainly showed this is a deeply interesting story, and we'll be following it. Don't quite understand it, but we'll bring you
flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime, and I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But I would.
He says she was a 17-year-old woman in this interview. Pretty awkward stuff. Pretty awkward. You know what else is awkward? He really do be looking different. Look, you can get your gender affirming care. If trans people can get a gender affirming care, you can. But if they can't, you can't. In my opinion, I think we have to ban it all. I think we have to ban chin lifts for Matt Gaetz and nose sharpenings.
That is according to sources that are familiar with this investigation. Now, Gaetz has long denied these accusations. Yesterday, he stepped down from Congress following his nomination for Attorney General. Let's get now to ABC News' Jay O'Brien, who's live for us on Capitol.
I don't need Jay O'Brien's information. So I don't think Matt Gaetz is going to, in the long run, have a good go of it. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. He wouldn't be the first fucking pedophile to make it big in our government. I have little to no faith that we'll get any kind of like great news out of it. But the best news we could possibly get is that he's nominated. He abdicates his fucking spot in as a representative, which he did. He stepped down, and someone else that's better takes his spot. That's what we're hoping for. It's going to be a while before we have like a normal running country again.